Hello students, welcome to NIOS Studios. Let me first of all introduce myself. My name is Dr. Gitika Datta. I am principal of Bhavan's Lilavati Munshi College of Education, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, New Delhi. The topic of discussion for today is decision making. Now, decision making is one of the most important thinking processes that we involve in on a day-to-day basis. Let us think about these situations. You are going for a wedding. What will you wear? You are with your friends and are hungry. What are you going to eat? What would you want to be in future and why? Now, my dear friends, all of these are decisions and it's about making decisions. It's about basically making choices. Say for example, if you are wanting to eat something, you may be wanting to eat say rajma rice, your friends may be wanting to eat something like say chola bhatura or pizza or a sandwich. So, basically now you need to come to a decision regarding among all of these different alternatives, what are you going to have. So, it's about taking a decision and choosing the best alternative out of the given alternatives. Now, let us consider a scenario. I am a 31-year-old man who I lost my wife in an accident last year. We had a love marriage 5 years ago and we have a 2-year-old daughter. My family is pressurizing me to tie the knot again because they feel that my daughter deserves to grow up with the love of her mother. Although I agree with them, I know that it would be selfish for me to marry someone only because of this reason. I am still grieving for my wife and I have no desire to be with anyone else in the near future. I am confused because I don't want to upset my family by saying no, but the guilt of my father's future, my daughter's future also troubles me. What would be your advice to this man? Also, if you were in this person's position, what decision would you have taken? Now, this is a kind of a very complicated situation which requires lot of thought, which requires lot of deliberations, and it's also about priorities. Different people at different points of time may come to different decisions based on their own value systems. So, this is what we are going to discuss. What is decision making and how do we go about it? So, if we try to define decision making, it's a process of choosing among various courses of actions or alternatives. This definition is given to us by Baron and Mishra. Now, if you look into this definition, it's about choosing. It's a process of choosing among various courses of action or alternatives. Decision making is gathering of information about relevant alternatives and making an appropriate choice. So, it's about choosing the right option out of a given number of alternatives. Now, generally we consider ourselves that we are rational human beings. Human beings are considered to be rational animals and we are supposed to be thinking and taking our decisions on this some kind of rational you can say thought processes. So, and generally the factors that we consider are the utility or value of whatever decision that you are going to take, of the outcomes of each alternatives that might yield, and the probability that such results would actually occur. But the question here is, are people generally such rational decision makers? Generally or at many times people may not be such rational decision makers. Many of us do rely on hunches, intuition, opinion of others, impulsiveness, likings, dislikings, or just for the heck of it take some decision which may prove out to be rational or irrational in the near future. So, let us now consider some of the factors which influence decision making and which make it less rational. The first and the foremost is heuristics. Heuristics meaning is quick but fallible rule of thumb to take decisions. Many of us, we fall back on certain rules of thumb which may or may not be very rational if you look at it, or which may or may not be very you can say a good way of thinking. The first and the foremost heuristics is available heuristics. How readily examples can be brought to mind. Now, researches have been conducted and it was thought, or it has been proven, that people generally consider those things which come to their minds most readily. They are ready to go with that kind of a decision. Say for example, if I am facing with a problematic situation and I tend to think, okay, that particular person in the same kind of a situation did something like that, so I should also go like that. Or somebody else, maybe somebody in the family or some of my friends or peer group. So these are the people, if I can relate my own situation to somebody else's situation, I might tend to take the same decision. The second heuristic is a representativeness heuristics. It is basically deciding on the basis of how a person or an event or an object look like. Now we as human beings, we are quite influenced by how things look. By looking at it and deciding whether we like the appearance of something or no, we tend to take many decisions. And just to give you an example, say for example, you met somebody in metro and you are talking to this person, you discussed about the name, you discussed about say weather, the national issues, the international issues, and lot many things. And when this person is gone, you are thinking, oh, I did not ask this person what profession he or she is into, or what kind of a things he or she is doing. So you may come to decide this thing based on what appearance the person had, what kind of talking the person did, and based on these things you may come to a decision that this person may seems like to be a business executive or a dentist or a teacher or a professor whatsoever. The third kind of heuristics is anchoring and adjustment heuristics, which is basically reaching decisions by making adjustments in information or original reference points. For an example, if you go to the market and you buy something, say a piece of cloth, and you bargained for it, right? So, and you are feeling very happy that yes, you have actually negotiated and you have had a good bargain. Now you go a little further and you find the same things at the same kind of, with the same kind of quality, everything at a lower price, and the second shopkeeper is even deciding or is ready to negotiate on the reduced price. Now you again feel very bad about it, and then you come to think about it, okay, I should first of all take a round of the market and then decide what should I be buying and at what price. And again, if you go to now, after doing this thing in one market, you again went to some other market, and then you again thought ki, oh my god, the second market happens to be cheaper or more reasonable. So this is basically anchoring it. You keep on adjusting your information from the original reference point, but the problem here is you never know what is the original reference point or how many adjustments are supposed to be done. So these are some of the heuristics we get involved into, which may result into a faulty kind of a decision making. Another kind of problem that we generally do is escalation of commitment. That means we tend to become increasingly committed to bad decisions even as losses associated with them increase. You can think of, say, people taking business decisions. They take a business decision, they stick to it, and then they keep on sticking to it even after it has been proven again and again that it has been a wrong decision. Or a person or people getting into wrong kind of relations or wrong kind of marriages. Say it's a decision, but once it has been proven beyond doubt that has been a wrong decision, people tend to stick to it because of psychological factors, because of self justification. Psychological factors, they may tend to feel bad. Supposing if I opt out of this decision now, other people may say that I am not such a I'm not a very stable person, or many other things, or self justification, just to justify to one own self and maybe to others also that whatever decision that I have taken is the correct decision. So my friends, let us now come to what should be the logical steps in a sound decision making. First and the foremost is recognize the problem. State in definitive terms what exactly is the problem. Then analyze the problem. That means looking into the various components of the problem, trying to identify what are the components, what are the subcomponents, what can be the interrelationships between these components and subcomponents. Consider your goals. That means where would you want to be? What are your goals? What are you trying to attain or achieve? And after considering your goals, then you need to look for alternatives, possible solutions. Go for as many solutions as possible, and it is here that most of your creative thinking is involved. Now, it is basically about thinking out of the box, thinking as many alternatives as possible. They may seem to be plausible, they may seem to be not so plausible, they may seem to be viable or unviable, but at least go for as many alternatives as possible. Consider the possible consequences of each alternatives in the short run as well as in the long run. Say short run is 2 to 3 years, long run is 15, 20, 25 years. So try to consider the consequences of whatever decision that you are making today. Try to analyze that. Then the next step would be evaluation of desirability of each possible consequence. We evaluate how or in what manner each and every alternative is desirable. Then coming to a decision regarding selection of the best alternative. So once the best alternative is selected, put the decision into action. It has to be implemented. And once it is implemented, accept the responsibility. Since you are the decision maker, you are a responsible person, and this is the main hallmark of being a responsible person, that we accept the response. We take on the responsibility. We do not say ki such and such person provoked me into doing this, or such and such person because of such and such I took such decision. No. Once the decision has been taken, it's yours. And then evaluate your results. Now we'll try to see and key decision making when we are trying to see what different possible alternatives can be there. Now this is a very practical kind of a rubric which if it is made does help anybody in coming to a logical decision making. So what we can do is we can actually write down the exact problem or the exact decision which needs to be taken on top. And then if you look into the this rubric, we have the criteria. So, and there are different alternatives. So, the plausible kinds of solutions to that particular problem are written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There can be as many as alternatives can be there. And then we evaluate each and every of these alternatives on these different criteria, which may be moral, economic, legal, health, safety risks, consequences in the short run, consequences in the long run. And we try to evaluate how morally that, say, alternative 1 happens to be, how morally correct or incorrect alternative 2 is. And we try to give our preferences based on each of these criteria. You may have some more criteria also. This is not a definitive list. This is just a suggestive list. Depending upon the kind of problem which you are having, you need to evolve your own criteria and try to evaluate or assess the various alternatives according to your own value systems. Now here the importance of value systems is there. Something which may be more valuable to me may not be more valuable to others. For example, somebody may consider their own good to be of prime importance. Somebody may think the society is good to be of prime importance. Somebody may think the family is good to be of prime importance. So it depends on the value system of the person, and all of those things have to be incorporated in this rubric. And then after writing down the preferences, if any additional comments are there, you can write it down, and then we can come to a overall decision. Now writing down things actually helps. Now the next point that we are going to discuss is critical elements in better decision making. Now what are the basic points, or what are the critical factors which help in developing a better decisions? Use sounder judgments. So it is generally said that if decision making is a science, coming to judgments is an art. So a person who can judge things, judge people, judge processes will generally be a good decision maker. So having sound judgments is something which is very important. Draw up a rubric in black and white. Writing things down in black and white actually helps. Clarify your values and objectives. Values means what values do you have, what is most important to you, whether it's generic good, whether it's your own your own betterment, or your family's betterment, or your country's betterment. I mean, these are different value sets which you would want, which you have, and your value system may be very different from your family's value system or from somebody else's value system. So we need to evaluate, or we need to see what values we are having and what objectives do we have. What is it that I want to attain? My objective may be very different from your objective. Another very important this thing is accept reasonable results. Don't be very utopian about taking decision. Many decisions may not turn out to be very great. So we need to set reasonable limits for our decision making. that we need to understand that not all decisions will give us phenomenal results. Some decisions may be total failures also, and some may be reasonably okay also. So we should be ready for those things. Make the best of decision makings. Make the best of faulty decisions. Supposing you do come to this conclusion that some decision has been taken and it has not turned out to be a very good decision, okay, accept it. And you can need to take on the responsibility also, and then now what? Move on. Now the thing is that now this decision has been taken. We as human beings, we are bound to commit mistakes also, so that is okay. Now how to make the best of it? So making the best of faulty decisions can go a very long way in making the next correct decision. So in the end, I would like to say that it is in your moments of decision making that your destiny is shaped, and this is a very relevant quotation given to us by Tony Robbins. And in the end, I would like to conclude that you should be very, very clear as with your decision making, whether it's your personal decisions, whether it's your professional decisions or family decisions related to your family. Go through a systematic process of decision making and you will emerge a winner. Thank you so much and wish you all the very best.
खिलते चेहरों पर ये मुस्कान आई है शिक्षा के जरिए। ये मुस्कान आई है नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग यानी NIOS के जरिए। नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग या राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान, इस संस्थान का एक बड़ा उद्देश्य है आम आदमियों के जीवन को बेहतर बनाना। ऐसे लोग जिनके लिए शिक्षा एक दूर का सपना है, या वे बच्चे जो परिवार की रोजी रोटी कमाने के लिए बीच में ही स्कूल छोड़ने पर मजबूर हो जाते हैं। NIOS ऐसे बच्चों और बड़ों को दोबारा शिक्षा से जुड़ने का मौका मुहैया कराता है ताकि वे एक बेहतर जीवन जी सकें। 1989 में स्थापना के बाद NIOS ने देश के लाखों बच्चों और वयस्कों को बेहतर शिक्षा से जोड़ा है। इनमें हर उम्र, हर पृष्ठभूमि, हर जाति, हर मजहब और हर क्षेत्र के लड़के लड़कियां, महिलाएं और पुरुष शामिल हैं। बढ़ई से लेकर पायलट, डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर, बेकर और दर्जी तक NIOS कोशिश कर रहा है सबको शिक्षित और सशक्त बनाने की, चाहे वो असम के दूर दराज इलाके में रहने वाला हो या फिर मुंबई जैसे महानगर का। NIOS ने अपनी मौजूदगी हर जगह दर्ज कराई है। NIOS ने शिक्षा की परंपरागत सोच को ही बदल दिया है। वो पढ़िए जो हम पढ़ाते हैं की जगह NIOS की नई सोच है, हम वो पढ़ाते हैं जो आप पढ़ना चाहते हैं। इस नई सोच ने लोगों को आगे बढ़ने और NIOS के साथ जुड़ने के लिए प्रोत्साहित किया है। शिक्षा उपलब्ध कराने के मामले में NIOS किसी सीमा को नहीं मानता, उम्र की सीमा को भी नहीं। चंडीगढ़ के गणेश के लिए भी NIOS एक वरदान साबित हुआ। NIOS शारीरिक रूप से अक्षम बच्चों को भी बेहतर शिक्षा मुहैया कराने के लिए पूरी तरह प्रतिबद्ध है। ऐसे बच्चों के लिए शिक्षा न केवल रोजगार के द्वार खोलती है, बल्कि उन्हें आत्मविश्वास और गर्व के साथ जीना भी सिखाती है। NIOS खेल के इन सितारों को उनकी सुविधा और समय के अनुसार बेहतर शिक्षा उपलब्ध कराता है। मेरी कॉम, सोमदेव देववर्मन, देविका रेबेका पल्लिकल, अरमान इब्राहिम, प्रद्युमन प्रकाश और अमयजोत सिंह। NIOS सीमा पर खड़े उन प्रहरियों को भी शिक्षा से लाभान्वित करता है जो देश की सुरक्षा के लिए अपनी जान की बाजी लगाने से भी नहीं चूकते। सच तो ये है कि NIOS की पहुंच हर ओर रहती है, चाहे वो दूर दराज के आदिवासी हो या जेल की कोठरी में बंद कैदी या फिर ग्रामीण और शहरी क्षेत्रों के गरीब निवासी। देश में कहीं भी कोई भी व्यक्ति, स्त्री, पुरुष, लड़का, लड़की, अमीर, गरीब शिक्षा से वंचित न रहे। राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान का यही मिशन है।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान पूरे देश में शिक्षा के साथ साथ कौशल विकास के क्षेत्र में बहुत सारे कोर्सेज दे रहा है। लगभग 100 से ज़्यादा कोर्सेज हैं। हम दूर दराज के गांव में अपने संस्थान बनाते हैं और वहाँ के बच्चों को, वहाँ के बच्चियों को, वहाँ के वयस्कों को हुनर के क्षेत्र में शिक्षा पहुँचाते हैं। आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि अब हम आर्ट्स, साइंस, कॉमर्स जिन क्षेत्रों में 12वीं का सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाता रहा है, अब हम हुनर के क्षेत्र में, वोकेशनल एरिया में भी 10वीं और 12वीं का सर्टिफिकेशन करेंगे। तो वो बच्चे जो कृषि से जुड़े हुए हैं, कारपेंट्री से जुड़े हुए हैं या दूसरे क्षेत्रों से जुड़े हुए हैं, वो अपने ही क्षेत्र में काम करेंगे, सीखेंगे, हुनर पैदा करेंगे अपने में और सर्टिफाइड भी होंगे कि वो सर्टिफाइड कृषक हैं, खेतिहर हैं। तो आज तक जो हमारे देश में ये सोच रही है कि आप 12वीं पास तभी कहे जाएंगे जब भूगोल, अर्थशास्त्र, भौतिकी ये पढ़ेंगे, अब ये समय बदल गया है। ITI में जितने बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, लगभग 18 लाख बच्चे हर साल दाखिला लेते हैं। अब हम उनको सर्टिफिकेशन करेंगे।
NIOS अपने छात्रों को माध्यमिक स्तर पर 26 और उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर पर 19 विषयों का विकल्प देता है। पढ़ाई किस माध्यम से करनी है, इसमें भी आपको लचीलापन मिलेगा। माध्यमिक स्तर पर ही 7 भाषाओं के अलग अलग माध्यमों का विकल्प मौजूद है। शैक्षणिक कार्यक्रमों के अलावा 86 वोकेशनल शिक्षा कार्यक्रम भी उपलब्ध हैं, जो छात्रों को कामकाजी दुनिया के लिए तैयार करते हैं। वोकेशनल प्रशिक्षण को अधिक सुदृढ़ बनाने के लिए NIOS ने ITDC, सिस्को, इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन जैसे कई सरकारी और गैर सरकारी संस्थानों के साथ भागीदारी स्थापित की है। आज लाखों छात्रों के लिए अपनी पसंद का स्कूल है राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान यानी नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग। NIOS ने एक लंबा सफर तय किया है, लेकिन मंजिल अभी दूर है। निरंतर विकास और नवीनीकरण के लिए NIOS सदैव प्रतिबद्ध है। शिक्षा का उद्देश्य महज रोजगार जुटाना ही नहीं है, बल्कि स्वयं को सशक्त बनाना भी है। NIOS लाखों छात्रों के लिए यही आत्मसम्मान दिलाने में जुटा है। लाखों लोगों के लिए एक आशा और उम्मीद है। नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग। शिक्षा सबके लिए, कहीं भी, कभी भी।
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने स्वयं बने हम,
घर बैठे पाएं राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान यानी NIOS में एडमिशन, वो भी एकदम आसान तरीके से, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को होगी समय और धन दोनों की बचत। NIOS से शिक्षा कभी भी कहीं भी। शिक्षार्थियों, क्या आप जानते हैं NIOS में एडमिशन लेने का सरल और सुगम तरीका, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को ऑनलाइन प्रवेश लेने में सहूलियत मिलती है। NIOS में प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया पूर्णतया ऑनलाइन है। शिक्षार्थी घर बैठे इंटरनेट द्वारा प्रवेश के लिए सबसे पहले NIOS की वेबसाइट www.nios.ac.in पर लॉगिन करें। अपना ईमेल आईडी और पासवर्ड डालकर अपना पंजीकरण करें। पंजीकरण के बाद लॉगिन करने पर ऑनलाइन प्रवेश हेतु आवेदन पत्र खुलेगा। आवेदन पत्र को निर्देशानुसार भरें और प्रिंट आउट लें। इस प्रिंट आउट पर अपनी फोटो संलग्न करें। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश के लिए शुल्क हेतु भुगतान के तरीके हैं: क्रेडिट कार्ड के द्वारा, डेबिट कार्ड के द्वारा, राष्ट्रीयकृत बैंक के ड्राफ्ट के माध्यम से, जो कि सचिव NIOS नई दिल्ली या नोएडा के पक्ष में देय हो। भरे हुए आवेदन पत्र के साथ साथ डिमांड ड्राफ्ट और संलग्न किए जाने वाले दस्तावेज हैं: जन्म रजिस्ट्रार के जिला कार्यालय से जारी जन्म प्रमाण पत्र की सत्यापित प्रति, जिसमें जन्म तिथि अंकित हो, पिछले विद्यालय से प्राप्त विद्यालय छोड़ने का प्रमाण पत्र, जिसमें आवेदक की जन्म तिथि लिखी हो। प्रवेश फॉर्म का प्रिंट आउट NIOS के संबद्ध क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों पर 10 दिनों में पहुंच जाना चाहिए, अन्यथा उचित दस्तावेज न लगे होने पर आवेदन फॉर्म रद्द किया जा सकता है। प्रवेश प्रक्रिया की पुष्टि होने के बाद शिक्षार्थियों को परिचय पत्र व अध्ययन सामग्री डाक द्वारा तुरंत पहुंचाई जाती है। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश एक बहुत ही सुगम और सुविधाजनक प्रवेश प्रणाली है। Online on time for safe and secure admission.